Hi guys, this is Vardha Sharma and I welcome you all to my channel after quite a long time. I'm sorry about that. As you can see from some of the supplies here, we are going to be making a card today that involves Spellbinders July 2019 large die of the month dies. No, we are not making another bicycle card. I'm sure you have seen several examples of those, of bicycles that can be 3D, bicycles that are on the card. Yanis Makula, one of my favorite crafters, also did use the same dies to make like a tandem bike, the ones where two people can sit and ride together. But we are not doing any of that. We are doing something different. We are going to make a card that involves a bicycle wheel wreath. Yes, you must have seen some of these on Pinterest. I'll link to one of the pins that really inspired me, and that's exactly what we're going to make. It's going to be a wreath like the one you hang on the door, and it's going to have bicycle wheel as the center point of that wreath, and then we are going to make a card out of it. Okay, so let's get started. All the parts that you see here actually will be used to make the bike. These are the ones that are used to make the bike. These are the ones that help you make the baskets on top, and these are just for embossing sides of that basket. We are not going to be using any of these, so I'm just going to put them aside and show you what I've already done. Alright, so what I have done is I have created some pieces already. I die cut the wheel using 3 different pieces. This one with the spokes, I think they are called as the black part you see here, and then the center circle using this part, and then the outer circle using this part, and I adhered them together with simple multi-medium glue, and I did that ahead of time. I'll put these also on the side. I also created fun times as a plate, sentiment plate. It's something you might see on the back of cars or even back of bicycles maybe, and you must have seen some of these in the trucks dies that Spellbinders release. They have been very popular and I'm so in love with them. I think I did make a card using one of those way back when. I'll see if I did, and if I did I'll link it below. But this is one of those car or truck or something kind of sentiments. I die cut it twice, once by layering the sentiment and the outer part on a silver cardstock, silver mirror cardstock. The cardstocks and things that I'm using today mostly came from the older Spellbinders card kits or from my stash. So this particular one, the silver one, came from this month's July Spellbinders card kit, and I layered it with just this using black cardstock from my stash, and I wanted the black and silver theme to go together, so that's the reason I did it. Let's put that aside. Okay, for the actual wreath elements, I made several flowers. These dies are included in the large die of the month kit, and they do coordinate with a lot of different wreath or cards or floral things that have happened, that have been released in the past. Last month's large die of the month kit from Spellbinders had this easel card, I think they are called as. I'll link to the blog post where I shared a card using that, and I believe these flower sizes will go extremely well creating a wreath that stands up. So these two, and I created a bunch of them. What I like to do when I'm designing cards is a certain type of flower, I like to cut it out from certain color, and so that's what I've done. With these I have used pink cardstock, and for the other one I have used yellow cardstock. So I have some yellow flowers and some pink flowers, and what I like to do with these is I like to use these stylus tips. I'm sorry, I'm being a little clumsy here. These stylus tips that you get for your tool-in-one, you have to buy this set of styluses separately. They come in a pack like this. I'll link it to the description below. I'll link it in the description below. But I like to use that with my embossing plate. So this is the tan embossing plate, again I believe from Spellbinders, and I like to just shape these flowers. Look at this. This is a flower that has dimension, so you can see it's like 3D look, and this is flat. So you see this is flat and this is slightly curved. So what I like to do is put this stylus here. If it is a small flower, I like to use the middle sized one and just go and press in the middle with it. Sorry, I didn't fix it properly. Okay, press in the middle with it and see how it curls up. You need something squishy like this mat here, tan mat here, and that's what you do. You just squish the middle and it gives you that nice curved flower. I'll do the same thing on the last one. I had saved these two just to show you how these flowers can get nicely curled up, and there you go. So we have a bunch of flowers and a bunch of flower centers that are also cut using the same dies. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at some leaves. All these leaves also come as part of the same large die of the month kit, and believe me, looking at all these dies itself, you should see how much of a great value for money these kits are. Really love them, and they're so versatile. They coordinate, they go well with several of the other Spellbinders dies or other dies, even from maybe other companies you might have in your stash. So they're just great value for money. So these delicate leaf dies, and I have gone ahead and done all my die cutting ahead of time. It's the standard. You create a sandwich, you put your paper and the die, and you run it through your platinum machine. That's flat. That's all I have done, nothing fancy in there. All right, now let's go and start assembling the card. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. For this particular kit, in addition to fun times as my sentiment, I would like to do some stamped sentiment too. And for that, I will be using this clear stamp set. This came from Spellbinders. I don't remember the exact name of it. I think it's Happy or something. I don't remember the exact name of it, but I'll link it in the description box below to the actual one. So this is the one I'll be using. I want my sentiment to read something like sending fun times wishes to you, and then on the inside I'll stamp happy birthday. So that's how the card is going to be. All right, let's get started. Okay, what I have is a card base here. This card base came in this month's Spellbinders card kit, I believe. It has a little bit of texture. What I have done is I have used my scoring tool. I use the one from We Are Memory Keepers and my bone folder to add a score line at every ½ inch across. So I just use this scoreboard and I put it like so. I use my bone folder and I just add lines like this. That's all I have done. This is one of the easy ways where you don't need fancy tools, not even embossing folders, but you can add a little bit of interest, a little more of interest, and a little more of dimension, texture, whatever you want to call it, to the front of your card. So that's what we have done here. Now on this, let's go ahead and assemble our wreath. Okay, I'm going to position the wreath like so, and I'm going to position fun times like so, and I'm bringing in my additional sentiments. I'm going to use Misti, but for now let's just keep them aside and just see the placement of this. So we'll say sending fun time wishes to you. Like so, and then fun times, make sure it's straight, That's what we're going to go for. And on the top of this, I'll probably add a little bit of bow or something. So I'm leaving a little more room here, a little less room here. So I think we should be okay with that. Let's go ahead and stamp this, and then we can do rest of the placement accordingly. I'm going to pull in my Misti. Yes, for my sentiment stamping, I still don't trust myself. Ever since I got Misti, that's the only thing I've used for stamping sentiments. I just do not trust myself to stamp sentiments and not get them crooked. So that's what I do all the time. Every single time I just use Misti. Let's remove this aside. I'm sorry, that's a little bit off camera there. Okay, so I have on my Misti door, I have my sentiments. It says sending, and right in the middle we'll sandwich the fun times. Let's do it one more time to get it nice and black. There you go. So right in the middle of that, we'll sandwich our fun times die cut sentiment, and the rest of it will leave here for now. Okay, I'll keep my Misti aside, and let's do the most fun part. Alright, after taking it off camera and struggling for a bit with that string you see there, I finally got it. I managed to tie a string to that wreath, and now we are going to assemble the rest of it. I'm thinking of adding a couple more leaves, a little bit more greenery to this. Let's see if it looks good that way. What do you think? Yeah, I think we should probably skip that but add that. And then we will add a little more of it here with that pink, yellow flower and pink flower. Too much? I think that's becoming too much. I think that's good enough. What do you think? Or I have a good idea. I think maybe I can skip adding it there, and I can add those leaves like so, and dress up a little more of my sentiment too. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. Let's do all that assembling next. For my fun time sentiment, I'm just going to add some of these foam dots that come in the kit. I'm almost about to run out of my big foam tape, so before I go ahead and buy any more of it, I'm thinking of using as much as I can of some of the other dimensional glue stuff that I have, like the squares here. Okay, and we'll tuck in these couple flowers, and maybe just one more, maybe that one. And we'll add these leaves right there. Let's go ahead and do that. Set those right there, and let's go ahead and add our wreath. Because the flowers and the leaves here have a lot of dimensions by themselves, I am not planning to add foam dots. What's the matter with me? I can't speak today. And there we have our wreath. That's it. I think that's all we need, and I'll probably go ahead and no, that will be overkill. I'm just going to keep it there and add a few more of these flower centers, but I won't add them to the center of flowers. I'll just surround them in my design like that, and I'll add a few around here, and I'll finish off the card and we'll share the final pictures with you. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you like this video, you know the drill. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications. It's one of my goals for this year to do more and more of videos, so I'm hoping to learn from you all and to inspire you all to create, and I'm so grateful that you guys are giving me a chance to do just that. Thank you so much. Bye now. Talk to you later.